welcome to Lionheart Dreamweaving. My name is Matthew, and today I have a general energy reading, tarot card reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces. Quick disclaimer, if you felt drawn to click on this video, then there may be a message here for you regardless of what your primary zodiac signs are, because we all have a little bit of all of the signs within us. Okay, so I'm going to start the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and then from there we'll go into pulling tarot cards. So what is the message for the viewer today? What is the message today for the viewer? Let's see. That's 3. I don't want to take 3. That's too much. Okay. Try that again. All right. There we got one. Okay, the bear. The bear. So that's kind of talking about emerging from hibernation. It's quite suitable, actually, for the time that I'm recording this. Although this is a timeless reading, so like whenever the message, whenever this message reaches you, it may still be relevant. However, like the time I'm recording this, I live in the northern hemisphere, and we're just coming into springtime here. So this is a time when the bears are coming out of their winter hibernation. And yeah, so this could be the same for you here. So it's a bit metaphorical, of course, although it could be actually very literal, but depending. Coming out of a long period of rest and recovery into some more activity. But also, yeah, very metaphorical, like it could be like a spiritual, like kind of coming out of hibernation in that way, right? Or a spirit, like a level of like awakening in that sense. So, all right, let's continue with the tarot cards here. Let's see, what else? Let's build on this message here. What else for Pisces? Trust, okay. I'm going to pull a few cards here before we... Oh, I got one flipped in the deck and one flipped on the table. I think I'll take both. Postponement and tuning in. All right. Maybe I'll put them like this because this one flipped first, or flew on the table. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Let's clarify the bear. This is kind of suitable with the bear energy, the turning in here. But hold on, I want to clarify this before I start interpreting any more. Tower. Okay, clarify the trust card. So it's a sudden awakening. Sudden. All right. Clarify the trust card here. Got the 10 of Wands. All right. I was kind of very opposite energies. This is kind of like very light and carefree here, and this is This guy carrying all these burdens on his back. Hmm. All right, what's that about? All right. Clarify the turning in. Hanged Man. Okay, so there's like a change of perspective there with the Hanged Man. Right. Okay. So interestingly, all right, I'm going to start talking a little bit. So there's all these like, if you could see here, there's all these like this person they're turning within themselves, they're tuning in internally, they're in a meditative state, and there's all these like other sort of faces in the background, these sort of ghastly, ghostly looking faces on the periphery of this person's energy here, but they're not like affected by all this, right? It's um so there's something here about um, a change of perspective here on what is yours and what is not yours. I like to deal with. Interesting, because that's yeah, with the trust here, it's kind of like okay, like with the trust, I'm getting the sense like of like delegation or like the kind of thing of like, oh, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done or it's not going to get done right. um but is that like and to an extent maybe that's true, or like if you don't do it maybe it won't get done exactly the way you would do it. Um however it may still be a bit whether like yeah, it may still be in your best interest to kind of just let the cards fall where they may. You know what I mean? Like to take your hands off the wheel a little bit and just let the cards kind of fall as they may here. Um, all right, let's clarify the postponement card here. Six of Cups. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So, like, there's a sense of like dissatisfaction in the postponement card, right? Um, now, okay, like the part of the implication with the postponement card often comes of like this person is um they are choosing inaction here. Like they feel themselves to be like maybe like a bit powerless in the circumstances. However, there's also a sense of that's not actually fully the case, and it's um, something about that they could like be the one to be the like taking action here. Um, like there's almost a sense of like nothing's going to change until you decide to like do something different. And maybe that's like a realization you had recently or will have like recently with the bear and the tower moment. Um, and then with the Six of Cups, so like um, I guess the it's like kind of self-compassion in this context because well here's what I'm seeing is so like the colors like the rainbow colors, all these beautiful like flowers like sweet field of like wildflowers sort of in the distance here. It's kind of the same color scheme going on with this in the Six Cups here. There's like these bouquets of wildflowers, okay. mm, and it's like there's like a certain like longing here of like wanting someone to come and almost very Piscean. So maybe like if you are Pisces, but almost like wanting like a savior or a rescuer or someone to come and like take the burdens off your shoulders and stuff. But it's like saying like no, actually you have to make that choice. Like you have to change. You have to be the one that like initiates that. You know what I'm saying? Um, with this like and it's an act of self-compassion to do that as well. Like actually for you like speaking up and like saying like delegating some of the burdens off of your own shoulders or speaking up and telling someone else like what your needs are in a situation or something rather than waiting for them to kind of like read your mind or waiting for someone to just magically swoop in and rescue you from a situation here. Um, it's kind of saying like, no, you're the one who has to like wake up and be your own hero here, or wake up to the reality of the situation and redelegate the sort of energy in a way that better serving you. Okay, because that's like kind of the number one thing I'm getting, yeah, with because the center card so far being this like hanged man and this turning in. The hanged man is like talking of change of perspective here, and this is like with the tower moment and the bear. It's like it's the same thing. It's like an awakening in a way, but that can also be like coming through as a change of fundamental change of how you're seeing the situation. Like if you change fundamentally how you're looking at the situation, the way you engage it and approach it is going to change it as well. And then that is going to be the thing that changes the circumstances. It's like instead of waiting for the change to come from the outside, like the outside circumstances to just change. It's like, no, you have to change, do the internal shift first, and then the way that you have shifted internally changes the way you are interacting with the thing, and the way you're interacting with changing that, the way you're interacting with the thing is what changes the circumstances. But it doesn't shift until you shift. So you just sitting there waiting for it to shift is gonna not work. You have to be the like take the leap and trust that like it'll work out. Um, yeah, and then you got finally here the advice I suppose here for you is like going with the flow and completion. Mm, okay, so going with the flow is like very, very much that Pisces. Oops, not. Let's clarify going with the flow. It's very much the Piscean sort of way of going about things. Right. Um, and well, I'm not seeing that it's good or bad so far. It's just your way. Let's clarify this card though, so I can put it into the context of this reading. Okay, yeah, so King of Swords. So that would be very kind of opposite because it's like swords energy. Yeah. Okay, so it's again kind of saying like, yeah, like to take a bit of a more active role in the direction of the thing rather than being carried along by the waves, right? Um, yeah, because the King of Swords is very decisive and active. He's like facing this kind of situation head on. There's like a challenging, he's walking into this storm here, um, willing to sort of like strong, willing to do that. Will set boundaries, stand up for his own boundaries, yeah, that kind of stuff. And then, okay, the completion. So that would be the world card. That's like something, this kind of can maybe relate back to the beginning here with the bear, because like that moment of like awakening, and card talks about like when all of the pieces of the puzzle fit together here. Oh, okay. Um, when all the pieces of the puzzle fit together here, there's a sort of like the last piece of the puzzle coming into the third eye slot, there's like a level of um, awakening here, or a level of seeing the bigger picture in a different way, right? 'Cause before you were just looking at all these like individual pieces, but once you finally get the whole sort of picture assembled together in your mind, or like, oh, you can zoom out and see like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. And that's kind of like what we got with the clarifiers here, because we got the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Well, the Ace of Swords is exactly that, what I was just talking about, everything I was just talking about with the eagle here, talking about the higher perspective, the Ace of Swords in general being like seeing the truth of a situation or getting like clarity on a situation here. But then interestingly, you also got the Knight of Swords. So all of these last three cards you have here is like swords. So there's like a strong theme here for you of like, and this might not be if you are kind of more someone who's inclined to this style of being, like this Knight of Swords energy is going to be like completely like, opposite of your natural style here, because this is actually like kind of can be even like confrontational, um, right? Like actively, like aggressively, potentially confrontational here. And I'm not suggesting you go around being aggressive and confrontational to people, but at the same time, there is like a bit of a suggestion here with the knight, um, being like, yeah, willing to um, stand up for yourself here. And okay, because like there's an interesting thing like on several of these cards here, there's these like gray clouds. Like it's kind of the emerging theme so far. Like on this, even on this one here, like this ten of wands. So on this side of the card, for example, it's like a dark night sky, but you didn't get that. It's daytime on this side of the card, but not like a shiny, bright, like blue skies kind of beautiful sort of sunny day. It's actually like a gray, really cloudy, stormy looking day. Same as on this Knight of Swords, same as on this King of Swords, right? All three of these cards, and not every, well, I guess the Knight of Swords has the clouds on both sides, but the other cards don't. Like this actually is like a blue sky on this side of the card, but no, you got them, like all three of them. It's like kind of like facing head on this sort of storm here, being like willing to do that, not sort of backing down here. Like with the postponement here, and the, yeah, it could be potentially like something you've been trying to put off doing, a conversation or something that you went like, oh, maybe we could avoid having this hard, difficult conversation. Maybe like things will sort of get better like on their own, and I can just be passive and like wait it out. And this reading is saying no, that's not, that's not advised actually for you. It's kind of advised for you to take a bit of a more active approach here. Yeah, in a way, but again, the primary thing it like comes down to here is still in this line. I think with the turning in and the hanged man, it's sort of like the change of perspective here, where you get a little bit more distance from the thing mentally, and you sort of realize like what part of a situation is like your responsibility, and then what are you like carrying that's like excessive, and what's not really your um, responsibility to carry here, right? Um, yeah. And it's like if you have been carrying somebody else's burdens or responsibilities and energy for them, if you try and like give that back to them for them to carry it for themselves, they're not going to necessarily, especially if they've been doing it for a while and they sort of expect that from you almost in a way, they're not going to be happy about it. It might, yeah, be a little bit of a stormy time there to try to shift that dynamic, um but you got the trust card, like saying like you can trust that, like you can, that if you just take the leap, that you will move through the storm, that arises, you can stay grounded and centered within yourself and trust that you're doing the right thing, that you're in alignment, and this is actually for the highest good overall. Um, yeah, yeah. And because you have this, the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and both of those are like facing towards the storm, and they're willing to walk into it and through it, and then they get to the other side, you know? Um, and they're like fully equipped and capable of doing that. And you have the Ace of Swords as well. So it's like just like sticking to your truth, keeping it simple. Yeah. And I guess with the Knight of Swords is maybe a warning to not, because that one can be sometimes a bit, um, sometimes not so skillful with their words, or if like emotions can get mixed into it, they can be a bit hurtful and things. But then um, you probably have the tact to be able to do it in a compassionate way, I think. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. hmm But the thing is, like, first and foremost, you have to be willing to also give that sort of like compassion to yourself and know when it's not really your place to be um, over caretaking of other people or situations here, right? Um, because that's not good for anybody's growth in the long term or the bigger picture. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the person that you're doing it on the behalf of, even if they feel in the short term like, oh, it's helping, but it's maybe not the most healthy thing for them in the long term either. And they might not be able to even see or recognize that until much later, but that's fine. Um, because you have the higher perspective here. You're the one with the higher perspective and the wisdom here, and you're the one who's sort of um, seeing the bigger picture of the situation. Okay. So even if you're being called to sort of shake up a situation here in a way that's going to destabilize it in the short term, that like just, you know, trust yourself, trust your guidance, um, and trust that you will be able to navigate that um, skillfully, and it will actually kind of work out for the best in the long run, even if it's something, you know, you've been dreading or putting off for a while. It looks like they were the postponement card. Okay. So, yeah, I hope that was interesting for you, or yeah, I hope it was helpful primarily, or if not helpful, at least interesting. Um, yeah, if it was, please like the video. Feel free to comment down below if you have something to say. I always like reading your comments. If you're a new viewer and you watch this far, welcome. Please subscribe if you like my content. You want to see more in the future. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I love you. Thanks for visiting, and I will see you next time. Bye.